let's see, Thursday. Oh, I can't even believe it's Thursday. Every morning I'm waking up and I really feel like it's the same day. And I know part of it is that I'm doing these lives Monday through Thursday at 1. So I have a very structured part of my day, which is great. I just feel like every morning I wake up, I go, oh, it's the same day again. So luckily for these lives, I actually, get changed and wash my hair. So I'm very grateful for that. And I thank God this weekend, especially on, hi Terry, I know I cannot even believe it's Thursday. It's blank. So I think what I'm gonna do is do some painting on the weekend and do nothing else. I have been working really hard. I've been building my business and thinking about other ways to be a successful artist in this crazy world. And I think that a lot of my art fairs that I do in the summertime, I think a lot of those are going to be canceled, and I don't know what the fall ones are going to be like. And the fall ones are really, they really are good for me. And there's the open studios. I still have to apply to get into that, fingers crossed. But they're even talking about doing something else, maybe a virtual one. And I'm hoping they'll have the regular one, but I don't know. So I have been working really hard on my website and my stores and doing as much as I can do, that I definitely am going to take a little bit of a break this weekend and just paint. Hi, Mom. I see my mom is on. So one of the things that I have been thinking about on today's live is, there's Sandra. Okay, did we ever figure out what that show was where everybody looks through the window, or the circle? I have to think about that. Somebody thought it was this telescoping thing, but I'm not too sure. So, okay, back to today. So I worked on the journal page last night instead of with you guys. And the reason is, I'm going to show you my journal page that I worked on last night. And then I found some other ones to show you that I'm really excited about. When I write in my journal, it's hard for me to talk and write at the same time. So the bigger lettering was fine. That was no big deal, but you'll see what I did. I can't do all the little tiny writing and be chatting away, because who the heck knows what I would do, or even spell. So, okay, all my little friends are coming on. So we'll have a little Facebook Live party, and I hope you guys have a great Friday. I won't be here tomorrow, but next week I have some fun show and tell for you guys planned. So I was also a little kid update. I was happy to see that my boys, I went into the house a few minutes ago, and Elias, the oldest one, brought a new game for us to play. Oh my gosh, I've already forgot. Oh, it's called Ticket to Ride, and it's a game. And I went in the house just a few minutes ago to kind of see what was going on, and they were all playing the game, and I was so happy that they were not on their electronics. They were not just sucked into YouTube, and they were having so much fun. So I'm gonna have to give them some treats or something. Okay, let's see, what did Sandra say? Oh, yeah, that is totally what it is. Romper room. That is so what it is. So whoever has been joining me for the lives from the beginning knows exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you for that, because I would be sitting there thinking about that for way too long. And did you guys notice I cut my bangs myself? Mark thinks I should have had Lukey do them, but needed to get those done because I couldn't see. And there's Jen and Jessica. Okay, it is like romper room right now. Okay, so you know what? Okay, before Jen gets off, because she might get off, I've been making the no-knead bread recipe, and I found it from Jenny Cooking Show on YouTube that Jen told me about. And this has happened to me twice in a row. The no-knead bread is incredible. Love it, love it, love it. But what happened was, when I made the bread the first time, it didn't rise. So I texted Jen. I was like, what happened to my bread? And so she said to do this. So I'm telling you guys out there, because it's a great tip. Take a little bit of a quarter teaspoon of yeast, a little bit of, she said, a tad of hot water, and a little bit of flour, and you mix it up again. And what do you know, it rose. It was perfect. It tasted delicious. I am making this every day now for my kids. It is, well, and for me too. It is so yummy in the morning on toast. So I did it this morning, and I went back and I checked it, and my dough did not rise. So I can't figure it out. So I did Jen's trick again, and I'm sure it'll be fine. So maybe that's going to be my, I don't know what Jenny on YouTube is doing, or if anybody else has a tip for me, but for some reason, my first batches are not rising, and now it's totally fine. Anyway, there's a little tip for you from Jen. Thanks, Jen. Okay, so I'm going to tip you guys over. Well, not really. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to show you some of my journal pages, and I'm going to walk you through what I did last night, and I'll do that one journal that we're working on. So hold on. Here we go. And hopefully I won't lose you guys. All right, hold on. I'm gonna sort us out. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think I'm gonna bring us down a little bit. Boop. Okay, a little bit lower. There we go. Okay, so we've been working on this, or I've been working on it, and you guys have been showing me stuff, which is awesome. And so for those who were not on the live yesterday, this spread is dedicated to a passage I read in Mark Nepo's book, The Book of Awakenings. And it's a little early morning kind of one paragraph passage that I read each day. And it was all about mana. And it could be pronounced manna. I always have a problem because my parents are British and are British speaking, and I'm English too, but I sound American. Anyway, not to go off a tangent, but I have a hard time pronouncing things. That's my little weakness. So anyway, mana is an extraordinary power of force residing in a person or object, a sort of spiritual electricity that charges anyone who touches it. And so what I did was I cut up a whole bunch of things in yesterday's live, and we put them down. And then last night and this morning, I wanted to work on the writing part, and I knew that if I did that with you guys, I would start spelling it all wrong. So I took a few of the, I took a few of the little parts of the passages that I really liked, and then some of them I wrote down here, some of them I put up in here, and that's kind of what you can do on your pages that's really fun. It's like if you have something that you're reading and you want to break it up into little sections. So this was that sort of rainbow-ish shape I found, and so it's all about being real and being authentic and having the sun be sort of the center. And here's something that's really sweet too that I pulled out. When we are authentic, expressing our warmth and light in all directions, we cause things around us to grow. When our souls, like little suns, so that's how I got this little sun, express the light of who we are, it reminds, Jesus calls this love and Buddha calls this compassion, and then the roots of our community lengthen. So there was so much in this passage that I read that really got me thinking about my painting. And so this was the sketch that I did the other night for a new painting I want to have. And I really did not like the little Buddha that I drew. So I found a Buddha that I cut out and I put on top of it. But when I start this painting next week, I'll be able to kind of look at this as my sort of vision board and really kind of figure out like, okay, what colors do I want to do and my shapes. So what I did this morning was I took the cutouts, I pasted them down, I did my writing, and then I started adding my magic, I must call them magic markers. I put in some paint pens, and then I also just used some regular markers. So I did paint pens on some of these little dots, and then the Copics I used on just outlining some of my cutout collage pieces. So that's a really fun thing to do when you put your collage pieces down, is just take your marker and kind of outline it in little areas. It gives it some shadow and then some depth, which I really like. And another fun thing too is if you have some photographs or magazine cutouts, taking a white Sharpie and going over that is a great way to sort of add a little fun. And I also want to show you, but hold on. These work great too. I'm just out of ink on these. This is the Signo Uniball, and these are great too if you don't have a white Sharpie that's on the thinner side. This is pretty thin in order for me to get this fine line. And then another fun thing to do on your page is, I'm bringing this closer so you can see it, is because it's really subtle. I just took some white, that white Sharpie, and did some lines that started from here, and I just kind of worked my way around it. So that was really fun. And I'm trying to think what else is on this page. Oh, and then I added some tape, a little bit of tape, just a few pieces. So this is a spread that I think is pretty, it's pretty much done, and I'll work on it maybe a little bit more, but I wanted to show you guys that. And then I have some new ones I want to show you. Well, not new, but ones that we haven't seen before. Okay, this is going to bring me back a long time ago. This was that class that, let's see, Mike, are we in here? Yeah. This is this class I did for Jane Davenport and Tisha Moore. And when we did the writing, let me go back to that for a second. This one, a few lives ago, this is kind of how I was taught to do it too. So this is really fun. And I actually don't even know if I wrote this or if I took that from somewhere else, but oh, here we go. I realized soon enough that this is what I need to do. Creating, drawing, and painting. It brings such peace and joy to my life. Each morning while everyone is sleeping, I get out my journal, my markers, pencils, and let it all begin. Lines and color, no clear direction, such happiness, just doing, imagination. So I wrote this, and this is probably how I was thinking in the morning. So if you don't have an idea, or you don't have a quote, or you don't know what to write, just start writing down like what you're doing, or keep, it's just fun. And then when you can break up your type, put them on either sides of something, they become letters, and the letters become part of the design. And this was a quote, everything you can imagine is real. Pablo Picasso is one of my favorite quotes. And this was, I think we were working with a lot of girls and faces. And if you know Jane Davenport's work, she does these really sweet faces. And this was a journal we made. Okay. Oh, looks like that's one of my kids. Huh. Isn't that fun? Okay, but this was a page. I want to show you this because, and I never finished this, but this was a file folder. So when you're thinking that you don't have something to draw in, you can find things. I didn't finish all of this stuff, but you can find things in your house to make out of. I think this must have been like, I don't even know what this is. Some sort of a wax paper. Anyway, so that's one. I wanted to show you that girl because I found that this morning. And then this one is one that I was doing, I think, last year. And if you guys know a little bit about me, you know I love elephants. And I have some elephant paintings. So this one is probably of an inspiration board for one of my paintings on the color pink and blues and greens. So, just even ripped out pieces of paper can make a really sweet thing for your page. And some of the flowers again. And somebody sent this to me, so we called it Ellie. Every lesson learned is essential. Fun. Okay. And then I'm just going to walk you through this one. I don't all in here. And, just like finding little cutouts, this was the ink I had put down on the page before I started working on it. And I'm not done with some of these pages. I don't know when I'll get back to it, but it's really fun to kind of just look at them again. And these are David Austin roses that David Austin makes beautiful roses, but I also have ordered them before, so I get his catalog, and it's great to use that. So here's another one that I love. It's, Rumi is one of my favorite poets, and this is a little letter I got from our good friends. And then I was reading this book. Okay, so has anybody read Before We Were Yours? It's by Lisa Wingate, and there was I don't know what page it's on, but this was what she wrote this, and I just was spellbound by it. Music is created into the scene, woven in ways we do not understand. You may love the melody of a bygone day or imagine the song of a future one, but we must dance within the music of today, or we will always be out of step, stumbling around in something that doesn't suit the moment. So I thought that was just so perfect, and it actually, can relate back to the spread I'm doing today on mana and this one is all about, being authentic and being who you are, and it's the same sort of thing, just doing something that feels good, that is right, and, dance within the music of today. So anyway, I thought that was really sweet. I'm hoping it's not cut off. I literally cannot see my phone screen because we have an emergency alert. Donna, I hope you're on and you see this, but Donna is my next door neighbor growing up, and she's one of my moms. So I have 3 moms, and she's one of them. And this one is, Dearest Andrea, stuck at home today because we were getting a new roof. Good excuse to clean out all my stash. Must have done these at least a year ago. Please stir up and use in your collages. And remember the good times on Moorgate Court. Love, love, love forever, Donna. So Moorgate Court's where I grew up. I was so lucky to be next to some amazing artists in my neighborhood, and I put this in there, and then there's some other things I have in here too. I think I was working on a tagline or something there. And I really like this color orange. So that's another one. And let's see. This is really fun wrapping paper. Wrapping paper is great, and you can use it and put it on different things and cut it out. But this was a wrapping paper, and this is wrapping paper. So I often save, when I have gifts given to me and the paper is so beautiful, I often save that and I use that in some of my collages. I think I really liked all the colors in this home piece. And then this is so dreamy. All of these things are so pretty. I think it's mostly from Anthropology. And that is this journal. So, I did some on the back too. So tearing is really fun, and then you can just take your white Sharpie, and I draw around the outside of the Sharpie, and draw around the outside of the tear with my Sharpie. It just gives it another dimension, and I overlap, and I just play around with different ideas. It's an old stamp of something. All right, so I've got a few more here that I want to show you. Okay, here we go. I don't want to turn off this alert because I don't want it to get you guys to be gone. Okay. That's going to have to do it. Okay, so this is a page that I did in 2013, and it was a film that I watched, and it was all about educating girls and, girls in countries where they aren't allowed to go to school, and really trying to educate them and to teach them, that there's power in education and to have a better future. So what I did was I found these sweet girls, and I put, this is from Girl Rising, which is the name of the movie. One girl with courage is a revolution. And then I found these faces, and then I sort of made this into her hair, but this could be like the mountains. And then these were flowers, but also girls who were, in some of the countries where they're under all of their clothing, and just kind of letting them out and they're excited. They want to learn, and having the color there. So little educational stuff happening here. And this was the article of, it looks like this was an article with Obama, something to do with helping, and there was an International Women's Day. So I did this a few years ago, so I can't remember every detail of it, but I really liked how that turned out. And then this one was the same year. Okay, so I am not a runner. I don't like running. My body hurts when I run, but I was so intrigued by this race. It's called She is Beautiful. I'm sure many of you guys know it, but back in 2013, it was pretty new to the scene, and I decided that I was going to do it, and I never run before. And so I remember training so hard and training. By the time this came, I had trained so hard, I actually did the 10K, but I had done it for the 5K. And then the next year I did a half marathon. And then that was the end of my running. It was fun, but there's some people who love running and there's some people who don't like running. And I would say I don't really like running. But I really took this into 3 stripes. That was my tag or my bib, the exact one. And I just made a photocopy of it and shrunk that down. And then everybody wore pink, or a lot of people were wearing pink on this first one. And then I just wrote the mission statement of She is Beautiful. I'm going to read it to you guys because it's pretty awesome. It's not just exercise, it's the idea of commitment, pushing through walls you set up for yourself, overcoming preconceptions of who you are, and making room for the best you can be with each step you take. Each mile behind you, you are choosing to be your most beautiful self on and off the road. I thought that was so awesome, their mission statement. Okay, and then this is the last one I'll show you guys today. Okay, I was completely inspired by the green Tara. My stepfather, Anthony, Mark's mom's husband, is a beekeeper, but he also loves anything to do with Buddhism, and he was telling me all about the green Tara, and she's known for abundance and success and achievements. And so this page was done so long ago that my very first business was called 8 Annas, and one of these days I'll tell you the story of that. And this was done when I was just thinking the little seed of opening and having my own business was just starting. And I was probably worked another 5 years in my corporate job while all of this was percolating sort of in the background. And so I put her in there, and then she is known as the mother of liberation and represents the virtues of success in work and achievements. If you can dream it, you can do it. I think showing the wisdom and art, homage to you, from Dalai Lama. And then I just did some different writings, and this was a really fun spread. That same magazine where I found these guys is where I got a lot of these pieces. So anyway, that is that for our little show and tell. But just have fun, and remember, you're layering pieces on pieces on pieces. And there's a lot of art collage out there that I think is incredible, and it's with sewing, and you could even sew things on or stitch something and glue it down, use some Mod Podge. There's so many different ways to work on these journals. They can be thick and full, and you can use filing paper, you can use anything you can find in the house. You don't have to buy anything. And it's really just sort of a meditative process. And for me, I was supposed to have been working on this like accounting part of my business, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to do that. So I just started doodling away on my page, and before you know it was like an hour later. So, all right, well, with that, I'm going to turn us around, and hopefully that little message will be gone. Oh no, it's still there. Hopefully I won't lose you guys. Let's see, I'm just gonna, oh good, we're still here. Anyway, all right, so I have a couple things I want to show you. All right, are we good? Don't fall. This is, oh, let's see. Terry writes something. I'm going to get back to you guys. Yes, happy Easter out there. We're all going to be home and we're all going to be well and thinking about everybody. And it's going to be a special weekend for sure. So I want to show you guys something that a good friend of mine made me, and I'm really happy because it came just in time because I'll be going grocery shopping this weekend. I try to wait as far as I can to grocery shop, but let me tell you, my house is pretty bare. Okay, so my friend Carolina, she has an Instagram account called True Blue Indigo, made me this awesome mask. So it's cotton flannel, it's breathable cotton flannel, but look how cute it is. I said, get me something with pink in it. Okay, is that so cute? Wait, hold on. It's breathable, it's comfortable, it's my very own, and I think we all need to be wearing these, right? I think almost every state you have to wear them. So if you can make your own, which I'm sure many of you guys can, if not, you can make some really fun fabrics, and I'm seeing quite a few little fun masks out and about. And I want to do our Universe Has Your Back card. Let's see my kids out there playing a little basketball. I really need them to be out and about exercising. Okay. So my wireless is telling me that it's about to, and you guys are there because my mom said that it was like Godzilla watching me. Let's see what it says. Okay, I'm gonna do this. All right, so here's let's see, I'm just gonna, it keeps telling me we're done. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. So I'm hoping that you guys are full of hope and love and peace and doing the best that you can right now. That's all we can do, right? Is do the best. Guys, to have a fantastic, and I hope you get inspiring, and if you're gardening or doing anything you can, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here on Monday, Groundhog Day number 32, or I think, on Monday, and we're gonna be looking at some other art, and hopefully I'll be doing some more journal pages. And for those of you who are sending me your art, I love, 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 love seeing it, okay? And you could message me or email me it or whatever. I love seeing it. It makes me so happy. All right. So you guys have a fantastic weekend. Happy Easter. Love to all. Take care. Bye.